right. Good Monday morning and welcome to KSAT News Now. We're streaming and podcasting from the KSAT 12 newsroom. Thanks for hanging out with us, starting your work week with us. Erica?
I love to start Mondays here with RJ.
Yeah.
It makes the week
no better way to start, I know.
So much better.
It's
I'm not being sarcastic
it's a good
at
thing.
all.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's a good thing. How was your weekend?
It was good. You know, I got to hang out with family. Went to Fredericksburg
I saw that.
yesterday.
You posted some stuff. It was like a family party
Yeah, so
get together.
my great aunt's birthday is today.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Aunt Kathy.
Wow.
But she, we
Shout
took her
out.
to Fredericksburg yesterday and celebrated.
Ooh.
So cousins, aunt, day out. So it was nice.
Yeah,
Mom
can't
was
go
there.
wrong with that. Plus, the weather was amazing yesterday.
Beautiful weather.
Yeah,
I loved it.
It was good stuff.
My favorite time of year, this weather that's out with the winter, in with the spring.
Yeah,
even though it's still officially winter.
Yeah. So obviously the rodeo wrapped up this week in another successful rodeo.
Yes.
You know what, got my wish. I got to go see Nelly on Friday nights.
I saw that.
And I
How
gotta
was
say,
it was like a throwback to our college days.
It was amazing. Our digital content producer, Rebecca Salinas, can also confirm that, right? Rebecca, Nelly was awesome. Now,
That was two
Rebecca
thumbs
was
up
all over
from-
that. She was, raising the roof on that one.
Well,
it was a
I'm glad
party
you
out
enjoyed
there.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
I know we saw him. I don't know if you saw him at Texas State when
I
he
didn't
was there.
see him. I know
I was there
yeah,
at Texas
yeah.
State, and then I saw him at
Yeah.
ACL a few years ago. It's always a great show when he
okay,
performs. So
there you
I was
go.
a little sad I could have missed it, but
Yeah.
you know, I have two kids now, so
Yeah.
I pick and choose when I can go out.
Well, it was a good time, and congrats to, again, the San Antonio Stock Show Rodeo.
Another great year.
Another great year for the rodeo, and we'll miss it as they get all the dirt moved out of there. And, yeah, we're going to get the Spurs back on the court here pretty soon. I don't know if that's a good thing. No, not really. But the Brahmas.
They got the first win. Yay.
Horns forward.
Horns forward.
Here we go. Yeah, horns
I'm
forward.
excited for
Yeah.
them. They don't have another home game anytime soon, though. It's like in the middle of March, right?
Yeah, March 19th is the next time that they have a home game. So we'll talk about that in Stick Figure Sports. And you know what? So let's go ahead and get to our top story of the day. Speaking
Yes.
of sports and a legendary figure here, we're talking about the latest in the funeral services for BJ Red McCombs.
Yeah, that's right. The funeral service, like you just said, is underway right now at the Tobin Center. McCombs died at his home last Sunday at 95 years old, surrounded by family. Governor Greg Abbott, Spurs head coach Greg Popovich, and several others are at the service right now. And I think you just said a little while ago that Greg Popovich just spoke.
Yeah, Pop spoke, Governor Greg Abbott spoke earlier, and Avery Johnson, I think, was the latest one to speak right now. So Pop basically saying, this is just a quick quote, he said that Red was a larger-than-life figure, that he was straight shooting, so didn't really beat around the bush, as you know, a lot of people have said many stories about Red, and then Avery Johnson said that the Red McComb was the anchor for the Spurs and anchor for the state of Texas and also the Texas Longhorns, which he donated to very often.
Yeah, and I didn't realize McComb owned, of course we know he owned a dealership, but I didn't realize there was 60 locations, and he also had co-founded Clear Channel in 1972. He was a pivotal in bringing the Spurs to San Antonio and owned the team 2 separate times. He also owned the Minnesota Vikings and Denver Nuggets at one time, which I didn't know about the Nuggets, and donated to several charitable causes. So he did have a huge impact on the sports world and the business world. And I'm sure he'll be greatly missed by many.
Yeah, absolutely. So his service is going on right now at the Tobin Center. Again, we're live streaming this on KSAT.com. So started a little while ago. So there's been a couple of people that have already spoken, but also I think I was hearing that there are going to be tributes from David Robinson. Also from some other dignitaries as well. A lot of people with the University of Texas Austin that Red was good friends with at the time as well. So make sure
our
to
Max
check
Massey is there right now, and he'll have a full report about the services coming up at noon today. I think he'll be live from the Tobin Center.
Yeah, BJ Red McCombs, again, funeral services today. So that's something we will continue to follow. All right, so moving on, Erica, to this story here, obviously gained national attention for just horrific reasons. This is our continued coverage of that deadly dog attack on the west side on Friday.
Yeah, so here's what we know so far. An 81-year-old man, Ramon Nájera, died from his injuries following Friday's attack in the 2800 block of Depla Street off Highway 90 and Couples Road. Nájera's wife, another neighbor, and a spawner were also attacked by 2 dogs.
Yeah, so the owner of the dogs here, and this is updated information from Friday afternoon. His name is Christian Moreno. He was arrested and is now facing 2 charges. And this is not the first time the dogs have attacked a person. Reportedly, they had been previously quarantined by Animal Care Services.
Yeah, so 3 dogs in total is what Moreno owned. They were all detained after the attack by ACS and have since been euthanized. Moreno remains in the Bexar County Jail. His bond for both charges combined is set at $125,000. Yes, this came in late Friday afternoon, and we kind of all stopped in our tracks when this came out because we were hearing SAFD Chief Hood talk about this, and it was just
It was
horrific.
unimaginable.
I mean, he used the words horrific, and that's exactly what it was. It was a horrific attack.
Yeah, unimaginable. And of course, you know, we learned later on that Moreno had been arrested, then the charges that came along with it, and also the fact that those dogs had been euthanized. But you're right. I mean, to be here in the newsroom when we were getting the information, and then just to see the reaction from San Antonio, the fire department, Chief Hood, and the fact that the firefighters had to use pickaxes.
Yeah, you saw the images there.
Yeah, the dogs away from the victim and also protect themselves. Man, I've never seen anything like this. In just being in news for this long, we hear about dog maulings,
but this was
just
a whole nother level. And I want to talk about the charges Moreno is facing now. These are felony charges. So the attack by dangerous dog causes death, and then injury to an elderly. These are 2nd and 3rd degree charges. They're not 1st degree felony charges. So with the 2nd and 3rd degree, they usually range anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison if they are found guilty, if this does go to trial. This is one we will continue to follow now on the legal side, on the court side. I'll keep track of it as much as possible, and we'll keep everyone updated on this case because it is one, like you said, that got national attention, and we're continuing to cover it today. I know Garrett is working on trying to follow up more on this story.
Yeah, so that story will be for later, our newscast later today, and yeah, it's definitely something that you know, just a horrific situation there for the victim and that family there in the area. Okay, so moving on here to this other sort of developing story over the weekend. For the 2nd time this year, the families of the Robb Elementary shooting victims are speaking out against the release of a documentary about the deadly shooting that took place last year.
Robbed 77 Minutes of Police Incompetence by Charlie Mann was re-edited and will be released tomorrow at a theater in Uvalde for the survivors of the shooting. Now, last month, the victims' family spoke up against the release of the film because they say the director misled them and was capitalizing on their tragedy. So
Lives Robbed, this is a nonprofit that was started by 4 of the families released. And so they released a statement here over the weekend and say that they're pursuing legal action in an attempt to stop the documentary's release on streaming services. So this is something that those families have been continuing to fight for. And,
so I remember when the story first came out a month ago, when the movie was to be, or the documentary was to be released, it was supposed to be played at Santico's, it was supposed to be played in theaters in Uvalde. It got, Santico's said at the time, because of the backlash, they weren't gonna play it, and then Uvalde Theater later, I think even until almost the day before it was supposed to be released, decided not to release it either. I'm assuming this is Charlie Mann going back, re-editing and trying to re-release it. So I don't know what kind of going to go from here. We'll see what the legal action that
because
they do try to take.
The families had like screened it, right? And then that's basically when they came out and said that they didn't want this to be released because it included interviews from 6 of the child survivors that were in the room that day, room 112. So yeah, we were talking about this a little earlier, just seeing what sort of recourse these families have here. I'm
not sure what their legal action will be. I don't know if when they were doing, if they did interviews with Charlie, if they had to sign anything, any kind of waivers. So it'll be interesting to see, one, if it does get played tomorrow, and if they are able to stop it from further release. Yeah, definitely one that we are continuing to follow as well. Lee Waldman's been doing, of course, a lot of reporting on this story. All right, so kind of sticking with the same theme here. So the Oscars right around the corner, and we know that, well, Will Smith is not going to be part of the night. He will not be there.
Nope.
For like the next 10 years, right?
Yes, the next 10 years Will Smith will not be there. But get this, the actor actually did win his first award since last year's infamous slap on Chris Rock. Yes, Smith won the trophy for his role in Emancipation at the 54th NAACP Image Awards on Saturday. He was not present
to accept the award in person. Now, this win comes, like we just said, a year after he slapped comedian Chris Rock when he made an insensitive joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Will Smith is banned from all Academy Awards sponsored events for the next decade. So this NAACP obviously is not an Academy Award sponsored event. So
yeah, and the this movie here, Emancipation, debuted on Apple TV Plus in October, and I have not seen it. I heard that it's a great performance by Will Smith. Obviously, he's been awarded here, but. Yeah, so obviously he's been kind of laying low a little bit, giving a little bit of interviews, right? Didn't he talk to Trevor Noah a little bit about?
Yeah, I think so. I think when the movie came out, he did some media for it, some promotional media for the movie, and then he kind of got quiet again. So I obviously, like I said, I think he's still laying low after last year's, especially as we're approaching the Oscars again, I'm sure.
Yep, that was definitely an interesting evening, to say the least here. Okay, well, we were talking about the weekend weather. Sarah Spivey's hanging out with us now.
Guys, good morning.
Thanks for the nice weather.
A beautiful, beautiful weekend
all
for
props
us.
to you.
It is.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll take it when the weather's good. Now, don't come at me when the weather's bad. Okay. No, but I thought we could start off with a Weather 101 question.
Here we
Okay.
go.
So it's been pretty warm the last few days. When was San Antonio's earliest 90-degree day in recorded history? January 1st, January 17th, February 9th, or February 14th?
Wow. I cannot imagine it'd be New Year's Day. I don't know.
Or even in January. I'm going to go with February 9th. See. But I am horrible at these, and I'm always wrong.
San Antonio's earliest 90. You know what? I'll go January 17th. Just throwing it. I'm gonna go January.
Erica,
wow.
you got it right.
My first one ever.
Back in 1962, on February 9th, we hit 90 degrees. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because over the next several days, we're going to be close to 90. So Wednesday, Thursday, very close to 90 degrees. It's going to be very warm for the good portion of this week. And then we see a front moving through just before the weekend to kind of help to set things a little bit back into what is average for this time of year. As you look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, today's going to be a beautiful, mostly sunny and a warm day. Winds are going to continue to be breezy. We'll get up to about 86 degrees around 4 p.m. and we'll have a relatively cool evening with temperatures falling into the low 60s by midnight. So all in all, a very nice day. Right now, we're seeing those winds from the northwest. They're bringing in some drier air, so dew points are in chapstick territory, right? You're going to need a little extra chapstick today. Dew points in the 20s, but as I zoom out, notice that it's still humid across the coast. Dew points in the 60s in Houston, near 70 degrees in Brownsville. There's that front that moved through last night. This front also produced 100-mile-an-hour winds out in West Texas. Crazy wind gusts out in West Texas. That brought a lot of dust to areas like Dallas down to Austin. Meanwhile, though, we are going to see a quick return of the humidity. By tomorrow, it'll be noticeably humid in the evening. Wednesday, noticeably humid. And then Thursday, we see another front moving through, and that'll drop our dew points down into the more comfortable range by the weekend. So a little bit of everything when it comes to how it feels outside. Today it feels really great with the low humidity. Tomorrow it'll be humid again. Here's that dynamic system. You may remember stories just over the weekend of snowfall in LA area as well as flooding rains. This is that same system. It raced across the United States in the span of 2 days. A very fast moving system. Well, we've got another fast moving system currently over the Pacific Northwest. This is going to be moving through San Antonio on Thursday. Now, as I show you the future cast, unfortunately, we are not anticipating good rain from this system in any way. Most of the rain will be up near the Dallas-Fort Worth area, East Texas, up toward Oklahoma. But instead, what we are going to see is, because this is going to be a very fast-moving system, this is a look at the potential wind gusts Thursday night into Friday. So this is Friday at midnight. So Thursday night into Friday, we could see wind gusts of up to 40, 45 miles per hour. That would create very high fire danger by the end of the week as well. So just looking at your 7-day forecast, again, it's going to be warm through Thursday. There's only a 10% chance for a stray storm on Thursday. If a storm can get going on Thursday, though, it would become severe. So it's a small chance, only 10%. There's a 90% chance it won't rain, but it's something that we're going to be keeping our eye on. And then it's going to become windy behind that front with temperatures falling back into the 70s. The weekend, guys, other than the fire danger, is going to be absolutely gorgeous.
Nice.
Low humidity, tons of sunshine, cold mornings, comfortable afternoons. You can't ask for a better weekend forecast, in my opinion.
Another weekend to spend outdoors.
Absolutely.
Even nicer than this past weekend, guys.
Wow, yeah. And I like the way you broke it down, Sarah, earlier. Chapstick weather. I like that. That's
Yeah.
an easy way.
That's how I feel.
Chapstick weather, a little extra lotion for the hands weather. That's how it is.
Yeah,
A little
definitely.
dry.
Yeah, that weather in the West Coast was wild.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts. I was just like, what is going on out there? The Pacific Northwest and California. All right, thank you very much, Sarah.
Oh, it's time?
It's this time now.
It's
yes.
time.
The greatest sports segment ever in the history of sports.
Really? The greatest?
Yes, the greatest.
Am I the only one that's like, wow, I didn't realize it
you're
was
not the only one.
the greatest? Oh,
Okay, so we
self-proclaimed.
can both draw here if you want. So we're talking about here the Brahmas, as they have won their first ever. Here, let's do little horns here. What did I just do? I don't know what. It's okay. This is not pretty at all. All right, I have no idea what's going on here. All right, so the San Antonio Brahmas.
What is that?
I have no idea.
I think is it
I don't know. It was supposed to be a Brahma, but
What?
it
It's
is
a
not a
cow.
Brahma. I know. I don't know what I just did here. So San Antonio Brahma is here. Let's just do a big smiley face.
I don't.
Producer
I don't know.
Robert
This
says this looks like a
demon chicken.
Demon chicken, yeah. So the Brahmas,
They won.
yes, they have won. I really am getting
They're-
pretty bad at this.
Here, you keep drawing. The
30
Brahma
to
won their
12.
first 30-12 over the
know what I just
Orlando
did.
Guardians. The Brahmas were impressive from start to finish. They are
Yeah.
now 1-on-1.
Unlike this drawing here.
That
So I initially wanted to do these horns forward, and then I realized I was just like way off on this whole thing.
I
Let's
don't
do a
even know
little
what
tail.
that's what. So you talk about the Brahmas over there. I'm just,
Yeah.
The Rock.
There we go. Yeah.
I'm just, there's the eyebrow. I'm just thinking about
yeah.
him.
Okay, so the
Go Brahmas.
Yeah. There's The Rock, of course, owns the XFL along with Danny
So when is he
Garcia.
coming back to San Antonio?
Probably in May for the championship game.
will be
That's
there.
what we're thinking. Yeah, that's where we'll be. Okay, so
I'll be
Brahma's get a win here. How about the
But-
Spurs? Yeah, the Spurs are, man, poor Spurs. We are in some trouble here. So let's do a very sad Spur here.
Logo.
Teardrops. Very sad Spurs here.
Teardrops.
The Spurs have lost 16 straight games. No, that is not a misprint. 16 straight games. This is a franchise record.
So what is
one
the
that they don't
record
want.
now? Do we know? Like how bad is it? I know.
They're like 14 and
I'm gonna go look that up.
50 or something like
I'm
that.
gonna look that up right
off
now.
The top of my head.
Spurs.
They lost the Utah Jazz on Saturday, and they have not won a game on this year's rodeo road
Is this
trip.
the
So
first
sad
time that
Spurs.
there was no win on a rodeo road trip?
This would be the very first time, yes, since they started playing the rodeo road trip. Oh, we have, okay. Real quick on the Spurs, and the reason they're doing this is, okay, I don't want to, so we have a bunch of little men here. These are all our Spurs right here. Normal kind of height guys, well, really tall for me. But the reason they're doing this is because they
want a
want
really tall.
7-foot guy
From France, right?
from France. That would be Victor Wembanyama. And that's the whole point of this deal. That's why we are tanking this season. Here's the baskets. I'm just going off here. Yes. Okay. So that's the reason they're doing it, because they would like Victor Wembanyama as in the pick here for their pick.
Are we
Andrew,
as-
what's up, man? Andrew's just giving us a weird look.
He's trying to figure out what
social
that
media
random
producer Andrew.
Brahma is. That's a Brahma. Can you believe that? That's what he drew.
A Brahma / chicken.
This has totally gone off.
Brahma /
course.
chicken. Oh, hey, look, here's the Brahmas. They got a player here that scored a touchdown in that win yesterday. Again, 30-12, their first win ever in franchise history. So horns forward, go Brahmas.
I'm still
You're
looking up the
for this
Spurs
first
record. Just
What
mind
we
your
do
business.
know is that the Brahmas are 1-1. Here's a question that I kind of had. So this is interesting for sports people here, because
I got it.
usually the Spurs are kind of like in the playoff mix, right?
Yeah, not this
Usually,
year.
Not this year. But is that good for the Brahmas that the Spurs are so bad?
Yeah,
that
'cause that means
people can
people
actually
can go
pay
to a game
attention to the
now.
Brahmas games.
And then after the season's early, because it'll end early. It'll end probably
May-ish. Yeah.
No, the Spurs.
Oh no, the Spurs will be over.
Yeah,
by
so
the end
after
of
those-
April. By mid-April. Yeah.
Is it mid? No, because they're in playoffs during Fiesta, aren't they? Well, anyway,
yeah.
you can go to a Brahmas game then
Yeah.
after the Spurs season's over, because you still want to go support the Spurs right now, even if they're tanking. Still show some love.
Yeah.
I will. I'm going to the.
And they'll be back in the rodeo. They'll be back at the AT&T Center. Yeah.
I
with
found
all
their
the dirt.
record. They are
All dirt.
14-47.
Yikes. Okay. Yeah.
Let's see how they measure up.
They're bad. They're really bad.
The
I
rest
think
of the
Houston
league.
is the
Are they
only
worse?
other team that's worse.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
13-47.
Yeah, so it's the battle to the bottom here.
We're close
with
there.
us
We're
and the
half a game
Rockets.
ahead
We got
of the
'em.
Rockets.
We got them. Yeah. So yeah, by the way, the Spurs are back in town after that rodeo road trip. They wrap things up against the Utah Jazz. So go Spurs, go.
Yes, go Spurs, go. Always go Spurs,
This
go.
is not good.
I don't know. RJ needs to go back to art class. Thank you
This
for
is not
joining
good.
us
No.
on KSAT News Now. It was fun, RJ.
Yeah, definitely good times. All right, you guys have a great Monday, and thank you again, Erica, for hanging out
course.
with us. Yeah, have a good one, y'all.